Hola, I'm John, and I have been living in the Dominican Republic since 2010. I am a Venezuelan citizen that came to this country in 2009 for the first time. I fell in love with this beautiful island and I decided to move here. Since I have been living here for so long, over 10 years, I know the legal process of moving to the Dominican Republic, all the logistics and the process you need to follow to move here. So I want to share that with you. If you come to the Dominican Republic, to Punta Cana, you fall in love with the place and you want to move here or retire here, I want to help you make that decision and also make all the calculations on the cost of living and all the legal stuff you gotta have to move here. So this video is about that. This will be a series because there are several things you need to know from the legal standpoint to the logistics. So this video is about the cost of living in the Dominican Republic. How much is the rent, how much you will spend in food, the utilities, insurance, and all of that. So most of the people that come here and want to move to the Dominican Republic want to move to Punta Cana. I currently live in Punta Cana and Santo Domingo. Right now I am in Santo Domingo, but we have 2 apartments in Punta Cana that we rent on Airbnb, and we are constantly going there, and sometimes we stay for over a month, 2 months, just to stay in the area because we love Punta Cana. So how expensive is Punta Cana? Overall, the cost of living in Punta Cana and the entire Dominican Republic is way below the United States cost of living, or Canada, UK, or other European countries. But it's not like super cheap, so let's break down all the costs. For example, renting a home. If you want to rent a condo or an apartment in Punta Cana, the rent is about from $800 to $1,000. Usually those apartments and condos are rented fully with furniture, it's fully furnished, and you don't have to buy anything. You have a TV, the living room will be equipped with the sofa, you will have a bed, and you just need to bring your clothes and your sheets, because you need to buy sheets and towels because that apartment will not be rented with the linens. So you gotta bring them or buy them here. Here you can find them very cheap, so that is not a problem. In Santo Domingo, it's quite different. The price is pretty much the same as in Punta Cana, but the apartments are rented empty, without furniture, usually with the stove and sometimes the refrigerator and a microwave, but everything else you gotta buy them or bring them to the home. The second thing we gotta explore is how expensive is the food in Punta Cana. In Punta Cana, the food is not very expensive. For example, vegetables are super cheap because they are local products and they're so beautiful, they're very tasty, but they're not expensive. Now, if you want to buy vegetables that are brought from Europe or the United States or Canada, those will be a little bit more expensive, but it's not like crazy expensive. When it comes to groceries, it's the same. They're not very expensive. The prices are quite similar to the United States. I have stayed in New York and Orlando, and what I have seen is that the prices in groceries here are quite the same, so it's not more expensive. Now, if you buy local products or the products that the supermarket sells, their own brand, they're way cheaper. For example, a family of 4 living with the basic things like meat, vegetables, and all of the other things that you can buy at the supermarket without luxury items and wine and very expensive stuff like caviar. A family of 4 can spend about $500 every month, which is not bad because 4 members of the family spending like $125 each one per month. It's acceptable. Before I continue, and so you don't miss any of these videos, subscribe to the channel to help you move to Punta Cana and also if you're just coming for a vacation, to have a fantastic vacation with our tips. Third, how expensive are utility bills in the Dominican Republic? Here actually the utilities are not very expensive. For example, let's just say you want cable TV and telephone and internet, a fast internet which is 100 megabytes download, 20 megabytes upload. That whole combo, it's about $70, which is what we pay at our home. $70, and it's very nice actually. It's not that expensive. When it comes to water, you will pay about $10 per month. It's very cheap. The water here is very cheap. It's included in the, if you live in a rented apartment, that it's included in the price that you will be paying, so you don't have to go and pay for the water. The owner will take care of that. Now, when it comes to electricity, the electricity here in the Dominican Republic is not cheap. It's very expensive, and in the Punta Cana area is the most expensive in the country, in the whole island, because it's a private company and they charge a lot. They charge 20 cents on the dollar per kilowatt. But how much you will be spending, it will depend on your consumption. For example, when we go there and stay for 1 month, we use the AC units at night, the entire night, and we'll turn it off in the morning, and we will pay about $200 per month. But we have had renters in the past from Airbnb that will spend $40 in the entire month because they don't use the AC units and they won't turn on the water heater. So it depends very much on how much you consume. If you don't use a lot of AC or the water heater, you will be okay, you won't spend a lot. But the electricity here is quite expensive. I'm not sure how much you will pay in the United States, but here, for example, it's a lot. The main difference is, in Punta Cana, for example, you won't have electricity issues. In Santo Domingo, if you want to live like comfortable and you don't want to have any electricity issues or blackouts, you will need to rent in a tower, a building, a very big building with electric plant, because the electricity in Santo Domingo and the rest of the Dominican Republic, except for Punta Cana, is very unstable. In Punta Cana, you won't have that issue, and that's because it's a private company and they're very, very diligent, and you won't have any issues with electricity, but you gotta pay for that. I mean, it's a premium service and you have to pay a little bit more. Number 4 is how expensive is health in the Dominican Republic. First, I highly suggest you to get insurance coverage since the moment you arrive to the Dominican Republic, and a local insurance, because it's way better. It will be accepted in most of the clinics that you go. And this is because in the Dominican Republic, although there are public hospitals, they are not very good. They're always short on supplies, and sometimes the schedules of the doctors are not very good, or they're very, very far away from the cities. So I suggest you to buy an insurance. It's not very expensive. For example, you can get a very good insurance for $70 per month, and a luxury insurance like worldwide for $200. Because if you don't have an insurance and you go to a private hospital, you will be charged a lot of money. I mean, it's crazy the amount of money that those hospitals will charge you if they're private. And it's not crazy like the United States, crazy expensive, but they're very expensive. So it's better to spend $70 per month and have all your medical problems covered in case you have an emergency or have to go to a hospital. Number 5 is how expensive is transportation in the Punta Cana area and the rest of the country. For example, in Punta Cana, you have 3 forms of transportation. The first one is with buses. You can take a bus in certain areas and pay $1, a little bit less than $1, and They're fine, they're public buses, they're not very pretty, but they will get the job done. You will get to point A to point B relatively safely. Now, if you pay for a cab, the taxis are very expensive in Punta Cana. For example, you can end up paying $20 from point A to point B and at a distance of 10 kilometers. So it's not cheap, and Uber is currently working in Punta Cana, but it's not fully established, so it's not very functional yet. There are certain areas that you can't use Uber because of the syndicates. There have been issues in the past with the taxi drivers because they're part of a union and Ubers are not, so there's quite a mess. I would suggest you not to use Uber until that situation is resolved. And the third way of transportation is with motoconchos, which are bike rides. There are a lot of bikers in the Punta Cana area, Bávaro area, and you can pay about $2 and they will take you to point A to point B. Usually they charge the same for most of the distances. Punta Cana is not very big either, so you will not be paying a lot of money to get from point A to point B. Now, Santo Domingo is a different story. In Santo Domingo, there's a subway, the taxes are reasonable, and you have Uber fully operating, so you can use Uber to go wherever you want at the time you want, and it's very comfortable. Santo Domingo is very comfortable with the transportation. It's not the best. For example, I come from Venezuela, and in Venezuela we have a very functional subway system like New York. Not like New York, but it's very good, or at least it was until I moved to this country. I'm not sure how it is right now, but transportation in Santo Domingo, it's fine. Now, in my case, I think it's best to have a car. I have my own car, and that gives me livery. I can go to everywhere I want to go, and I just need to buy gasoline. Gasoline is a bit more expensive than the one you buy at the US, so it's a bit more expensive. That's probably why the taxi drivers are charging a lot of money in some places, but I like having my own car. The only issue with that is that driving in the Dominican Republic, in the entire country, could be a little bit challenging. I will make a video about that later, but if you want to have your car, you need to prepare yourself, because here you gotta drive very, very carefully, because people here are not, I mean, they're good drivers, but everybody wants to get first to the places they want to go, and they're always rushing, so it can be a little bit dangerous if you're not aware of your surroundings. So, but I will make a video about that later. This is not about driving in the Dominican Republic. And last but not least is how expensive are appliances, clothes and shoes in the Dominican Republic. This is very short. Appliances are fine. They're a little bit more expensive than in the US, but they're not crazy expensive. Now, if you wait for certain dates like Black Friday, Independence Day, you will get some very good deals. So you can wait until that to buy your furniture, your bed, and all of that. When it comes to clothes and shoes, they're crazy expensive here. For example, you can buy a pair of Converse here for $100, and you go to the Converse website and you can get them for $40, and if you pay the shipping to the Dominican Republic, it will be $10 additional. So you will be paying $50 for a pair of shoes if you buy them online in the US, instead of spending $100 for the same shoes here. So, for example, I buy all my clothes and all my shoes outside the Dominican Republic because they're not cheap. Now that will give you an estimate on how much you will be spending. Subscribe so you don't miss my next video, which will be about the legal process of moving to the Dominican Republic. Thank you so much. Adios.